Hello, love warriors. Hope you guys are doing well. We are getting really cozy this check in because I am super tired, but I still wanted to show up and do a reading because I wanted a reading for myself and I wanted to check in with you guys and do a reading for you guys. Since this week is very charged energetically, everything that's going on with the planets. As you guys know, I'm not an astrology specialist, but I do check the planets. I do um, keep up to date with what's going on, and there are a lot of movement and a lot of new phases that we are entering, and there's a lot going on in the news as well. So I already said intention. We're doing a pick a cup. So I'm doing a pick a card of 3 for this check-in. And as you guys know, the energy of this week is to sit in stillness, to remove all the stories, to remove all the conditioning, to remove everything that is noise, and to just be present with the self, with the true essence, with what you really came here to experience in this life as a human, in your projects, in your love, in your career, in your spirituality. Just sitting down with that this week. And yeah, so I think this was 2 days ago, I actually did a meditation where I sat in presence for an hour. And guys, it was amazing. Honestly, there's this clarity that comes when you're really able to sit with yourself, sit in stillness, and remove all the noise. So if you've been meditating for a while, you know that there's all these thoughts that can come in and wander in and get your attention, I guess. A lot of them is intrusive thoughts. For me specifically, when I start meditating, I get a lot of thoughts that are random. They're not even things that I'm up to, like I'm doing or thinking about, or something that I recently experienced. They're really random. I'll hear like random names, see random images, see all these random things. And I kind of see it as tuning into the grid and receiving all these messages, and just not even receiving, I'm just tuning in and experiencing all these energies that are going on to the collective consciousness. I actually never put it into words until now that I'm explaining it to you guys. So that's what I usually see it as. And so I need to get through that fog and beyond the matrix and beyond all that noise to really settle into my center and into my stillness. And some days it's easier than others. On that specific Tuesday that I did it, it was, sometimes you meditate and you're going in and out of sleep. And I was going in and out, but I always have an anchor, a rooting. That's why I do guided meditations, to root me and to bring me back. And so once I was able to get out of, it's like you're traveling, to get out of that space of noise and the the collective noise. I don't know what to call it because I'm making up a name for it, trying to describe it. But once I was able to get beyond that, then I was able to really center myself and gain clarity. And that's the space that you want to be in this week, right? A space of clarity. So we're going to be picking 3 piles. I'm not sure what stone this is. So that's pile number 1. This dice, this triangle dice, is pile number 2. And this number 3. The name just slipped. Oh my gosh, it's been a while since I talked about crystals. So oh my goodness, I can't remember, but that's pile number 3. Yeah, and we're going to, I'll show you the piles. So for this check-in, what is it that the collective needs to hear at this time? Of stillness, of social, political turmoil, and planetary shifts. So that's 2. Bring them closer to a sense of becoming love and peace and truth. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3. Let me know in the comments what's going on with you guys. If you sat in stillness, if you had a lot of drama going on around you, or if you tuned into the news and you were keeping up with everything that's coming out, the files, the political chaos, the terrorizing that's going on too. And one more. Oop. I guess for pile number 3, it'll be 2 cards. Perfecto. And then I'll pick 1 card from the animal deck. There's certain things that give us energy, and there's certain times that take away energy, and there's just certain moments in life where you just need to sit and rest and be still and detox from everything that's going on. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not participating and you're being a bystander, or that you're allowing things to go on. It's because you're reclaiming your energy. You're reclaiming your energy, you're reclaiming your sovereignty, and you're cleansing your space from things that will disrupt what you're trying to create, that is in tune with the highest realms of love and light, right? And so you don't want to be disrupted in that process by being distracted and by having your energy lowered and harvested, because when your energy is harvested, it feeds an entity, right? So let's go on. Let me show you. Pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. I know we're doing this very spontaneously, but like I said, I want it to be cozy today, so we're just going cozy with it. All right, so if you picked pile number 1, which is a pink citron type of vibe, let's get into it. So the first card that comes up for you is that I want to show you guys this. The sun is like... But I love that when the sun hits it, all these colors come out. It's kind of like a firefly, and that has a lot to do with the fire. The fire that's inside your heart, the fire that's inside your body, the desire that wants to be seen, and that wants to be developed, and that wants to be refined, and that wants to come through in all that you do and all that you experience. And the stillness within this card, and you see the Merkaba, balanced, rooted, very rooted, strong ancestral energy here, and looking to the sky and being aligned and being connected and being one with the self in all of its facades, in all of its wholeness, in all of its genuine gifts and power. This is a very empowered card, especially with the chakras that are completely aligned this week. I think my message was like working, actually this whole year for me is working with all 7 chakras, not one chakra specifically. And this pile might be in that energy as well, where the energy of this year is completely cleansing and going in this annual completion before. So it's, for me, it's number 9 this year. And maybe this is this pile as well, where you're working with the energy of number 9 this year. But there's this blossoming and this completion in this wholeness of who you are. And so the card is full spectrum. Step out of the black and white mentality of good and bad. Honor the full spectrum of life and see through fresh eyes. When we judge something, we create a story around it. And this week, we know that we are not creating stories around anything. And often these stories are limiting. Over a lifetime, we subconsciously gather so many of these stories. We create a space of no story for miraculous healing and crystallizing new paths. This space empowers us to know our truth and to be all of who we are. Embrace creation in all her colors, including the raw, muddy, earthbound shadow parts of a situation to determine whether your stories are limiting your perspective. Let the think we're all good. Sorry about that, guys. I got a call. So sometimes we tend to further repress our shadow self when we learn about the light, when we learn about being empowered, when we learn about finding peace, love. We tend to further repress emotions that we call bad or low vibration, but we're all emotions are on a spectrum, right? And that's how we were talking about that full spectrum of life. All emotions are on a spectrum, and they're just at different levels of density, right? So you can move through them, but it doesn't mean that you're being good or bad. So you can, I see it, I was looking at the levels of consciousness the other day, and I was kind of seeing it as the opposite. Like the top represents the bottom. So enlightenment, when we have shame, we tend to want to hide things or be secretive about them and not let anybody know about it. And then with enlightenment, we see the reality and the truth of that. And the next one was guilt, right? With guilt, there's this whole like contracting and feeling bad and feeling low when feeling anxious. And I think peace is the one under enlightenment, if I remember correctly. And I felt like they were opposite sides and trying to tell us how to deal with those emotions, right? And so when we want to, when we feel shameful about something, bringing enlightenment to the reality of the situation really helps us to feel empowered and motivated in owning our truth. And so the shadow self is not there to repress you and to make you feel bad. It's actually there to see, for you to see clearly a situation. You're not going to truly understand what love is if you don't understand what fear is, right? And so by understanding and going through fear, you're like, oh, the world is not all teddy bears and hugs. The world can be harsh sometimes. The world can be challenging, and I need to know and understand how to navigate the unknown. And to navigate the unknown, I need to be acquaintance. I need to be friendly. I need to even embrace the dark side of myself. Embrace your dark side, basically. And knowing that the otter spirit, so you guys can look deeper into the otter spirit and work more with the otter spirit, but you are never alone. You are never alone. And so we have the number 4 and 2, right? And so what you're attracting and what you're building a foundation with here is your choice. It's your decision what you bring forth into you, what you want to who you want to create with, what you want to create with, what you want to build with, what your foundation with is. And if you uproot the things that were part of your old identity to create a new identity and to build a new foundation, a stronger foundation where you know that you are not alone, where you are empowered, where you can see things clearly for what they are and make a decision that strengthens you and empowers you and allows you. See, this is the strength card, right? And so we see the lion as this vicious creature. But the lion is also the king of the jungle. And why is the lion the king of the jungle? Because the strength that it emits, the aura that it has, the understanding that it has of the cycle of life, embracing that. And the strength card is always represented by a feminine because the feminine energy is strong. The feminine energy understands. The biggest oracles that we've had, the biggest healers that we've had, the biggest nurturers that we have were all women because they can see life for what it is. They can create life in all of its fullness and all of its spectrum. They understand how things come from the void and that manifest, right? And so you stepping into that energy of what is it that I'm manifesting, going into the void, not being afraid and knowing that you're not alone in the void and seeing things as they are, seeing yourself as you are and stepping out of that empowered and strong. So that is pile number 1. All right, let's go into pile number 2. Welcome. I feel like it's a little slanted, so you guys see me playing with that. It is what it is. Okay, so welcome pile number 2. If you picked this numerology dice, let's get into it. So here's your image. And this is the enlightened bind, the enlightened crown that is connected to all and that is sees all and can close your eyes, because the eyes sometimes they trick us and they don't allow us to see what we truly need to see. And with the eyes closed, we can go into this space beyond the mind, which is the name of the card, beyond the eyes. And there's this reminds me of the flower of life and how we are all connected through the sacred geometry and through creation, and sometimes we deviate from that. But when we go back to the true essence of who we are with our eyes closed, we get closer to source and to that connection of the flower of life. So the mind moves us through the logistics of life so we can function in the world. However, endless mental chatter, self-doubt, limiting stories, and subconscious programs can keep us in our suffering. You know, guys, if you listen to all these piles, well, I'll know after I do pile 3, but it's so crazy because this whole week the energy is to sit in stillness. And we want to go scrolling, we want to go functioning the way we've been functioning in the world for so long because we feel like that's how we're going to survive. And just taking 1 hour, like I said in the beginning, to sit down in stillness can bring so much clarity and bring you so much closer to what it is that you truly want to be experiencing. Because as we know, we are connected to the grid. And so the more and the longer that you stay and embody love, peace, harmony, the more the world is shifting and sensing that. So I wanted to take the time to say that. However, endless mental chatter, self-doubt, limiting stories, and subconscious programs can keep us in our suffering. Step outside mind-based limitations. Looking at things in an overly logical way will hinder you and obstruct access to your superpowers. The past may be running you and making your mind spin so you cannot see what is really in front of you. Consider what your heart and your gut are telling you. What would the situation at hand feel like if you released all fears and worries? Are these concerns even yours? And I was talking to a friend the other day and he was saying, I'm like, this is not to be even mean, but the Epstein files, it's not important because we've known this. Me and my partner have been researching these things and have known about this energy for 10 to 15 years. Some people that are older than us have known this even longer. We've known this information. We've known who is part of these groups, and we've known who is doing the hurt and the harm. So spending time thinking about that right now doesn't serve us. What serves us is being in our truth. What serves us is stopping the chatter, stopping the wandering in the mind, right? And centering ourselves in love, in peace, in harmony, in our energy field, being aligned with our superpowers, accessing source, and becoming the embodiment of love. Yeah. Okay. So next we have believe in yourself, the squirrel spirit. So working with the squirrel spirit can help you a lot at this time. And we have the energies 5 and 7. 5 is that a lot of changes are coming through, transformation is coming through. It can be overwhelming, but you need to believe in yourself. You need to stay confident. You need to stay true to yourself and know that beyond the doubts, there is something greater waiting for you. There is a change happening that you can't even anticipate. There is an alliance that you're creating, a bond that you're creating, an oath that you're uttering, a mantra that you are building. You know the programmings that once were there? What you're creating now, this oath and this mantra and this belief that you're anchoring in yourself, is creating something so strong, a bond so strong, a connection so strong, something that is just beyond relationships, the relationships that you know. Sometimes it's hard to explain these things that are beyond everything that we've experienced in the human realm, but that you can feel. So you know that how there's a particle. Each cell in your body is connected. Each cell talks to itself. Impacts like pressing a point in your foot can impact your heart. Stress can impact your shoulders. Everything is connected, and that's how the universe works. You releasing fears and worries in your heart can change how Saturn enters Aries, like or Saturn entering Aries can change how the worries and the love is received in your heart. So yeah, that's what I mean by the flower of life. So believe in yourself, anchor yourself, root yourself. The changes are coming. Make sure you're working with all your chakra fields. It's number 7. We had the chakras in number 1 as well, but number 7 is coming through again. So just balancing yourself, rooting yourself. If you need to dive deeper into that, I do chakra work in my program. So just sign up for the 16-day program and we'll do that, because I don't touch on that in the 5-day program, but I do touch on that on the 16-day program, the 4-month program, and the 1-year program, which is not available yet, but will be soon. And we have the 7 of Cups. And so the 7 of Cups, you see how there's that mask here also? And so you can't really see the eyes. The person is covered. The feet are grounded. Cups is really in tune with our emotions, right? And they're touching their face, right? And they're touching their face. It's not even the face. They're touching the mask, right? But on the mask, if you guys can see that there's triangles on the third eye area. And I noticed that the hat is also pointing to the sky. So there's this sense of being grounded. The feet are completely naked and everything else is covered. And so our feet has all these senses. So you know when like you're touching grass and then everything just starts to, all the EMFs, all the electricity, all the static starts to calm and ground and to enter the earth. Mother Earth takes that in and transmutes it and changes it into fuel. So being able to connect and transmute all that is just noise, all that is rich, like not in a way where you're contracted, but in a way where you're releasing, in a way where you're giving yourself the space to be sheltered. You're sheltering yourself. You're sheltering yourself from the noise. That's what I'm looking. That's what I was trying to explain. You're sheltering yourself from the noise. You're sheltering yourself from the stories. You're sheltering yourself from the identity that you once loved, that once meant so much to you, because you're going into this space. You're going into this timeline. You're going into this alliance, this connection, this bond, this project, this experience where you need to be grounded, where you need to be transmuting the things that don't serve you. You need to be in tune with your emotions. You need to be in tune with your energy. You need to be in tune with nature. And to go beyond the mind, you truly need to believe in yourself and do that work where it's not even work, guys. It's release. You need to do that release. So that is pile number 2. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome. I didn't go look. I feel like it's red on the tip of my tongue. But you guys, there it is. So if you pick pile number 3, this is actually the pile I picked. Let's get into it. All right. So, all 3 piles really had a lot to do with the crown and third eye. Okay, so can you guys see that? This looks like a complete fragrance, releasing your essence, releasing your fragrance, releasing its essence, its fragrance. It's just releasing it all. It's like the flower just opening up and people can smell it, and it's impacting everything that it touches and that it connects with, and that it's just moving through scent, through, He's just such a feeling card. There you go. Crown chakra, the unlimited self. The crown chakra is your link to the multidimensionality. The crown chakra is your link to the multidimensionality of your being, the seat of your soul. It gracefully connects you to the heavens. The infinity symbol of limitlessness appears within the unfolding petals. And I've been really working with the infinity symbol this week. The infinity symbol of limitlessness appears within the unfolding petals and points to your most potent potential. Here you can delight in the divine strands of light that dance with us when we are aligned with spirit, purpose, and truth. Be present and flow without rigid outcomes. Find more spaces in your life. Find your own way to meditate. Explore the state of flow, and be receptive to the intuitive messages you may receive. I love this. I love this, guys. Okay, and we got the armadillo spirit. Set healthy boundaries with the number 3. So set healthy boundaries, because what you're creating and what you're birthing into this realm, number 3 is always the number of flow. So positive, negative, neutrality, mom, dad, baby. So it's always that mind, body, spirit energy. And so having healthy boundaries, because healthy boundaries protect you. They protect your energy. They protect your children. They protect your body, your essence, your spirit. They protect you on all spheres, on all dimensions. And so that you can keep creating and birthing and manifesting what it is that you want to be experiencing. And so we have the Justice card as the overarching energy, and with the Justice card there is another plant there that is opening up, right? And so with this card, it's kind of funny because I feel like in a way justice, and look here, even here we have the 6 of Swords, where we want to trap. And it can look like you're trapping the negativity, you're trapping the evil, right? You're trapping the ones that you're purging, and you're taking out the bad seeds, right? But this is all, the 6 of Swords is happening mentally. It's happening on the mental plane. It's not actually happening in the physical plane, right? And with the Justice card, that's exactly how. So me and my partner were talking about how the realm where we're in the 3D, we're in chaos, we're in, very dense energies, right? And so the way the system is set up, the way the matrix is set up, is that these people are not going to be charged, right? The people that are causing these atrocities, the rulers, the reptilians, the ones that have come and changed humanity, and humanity plays a huge role in this as well, right? But even humans, even just the ones that are doing the wrongdoing, these atrocities, are not going to be charged in the way people envision it with the justice system, right? And that's the Justice card. With the justice system, it's going to happen multi-dimensionally. It's going to happen on several planes. It's not just here, it's in the spiritual realm that it really needs to take effect for it to be manifested in this realm, in the 3D or in the 5D, however it's going to manifest, right? But it's not going to happen the way people envision it. We're not going to charge these people and arrest these people and all of a sudden everything is okay. That's not how it works, especially energetically and spiritually, for people that know that we're spirits living a human life, and everything that happens here is happening in the spiritual realm, right? And so your sense of justice goes beyond. Let me go back to your sense of justice goes beyond this dimension. Your sense of justice goes beyond this physical body. It's in your essence, it's in your core, it's in who you are as a soul. And so tapping into that aspect of yourself, tapping into justice as embodiment, justice as movement, justice as moving prayer, and setting the boundaries that I'm going to teach my children this, I'm going to teach my community this, I'm going to be like this wherever I show up. And that's living beyond the constructs of this reality. That's living as a multi-dimensional being, because I am multidimensional, and so my justice is multidimensional. The way I show up is multidimensional. No, my beliefs are multidimensional. The way I trap and ensure that I protect myself is multidimensional. The way I remove what no longer serves is multidimensional. The way I release grief, worries, pain, struggles, challenges is multidimensional. The way I honor my kingdom, I honor my soul, I honor my vessel, the way I honor and I grow. And the leopard, and the leopard is this energy of, so in Kikongo we call it Ngo. Ngo is connected to going back to source and the energy of source, and they are draped with that leopard energy in knowing their power, knowing who they are, knowing their tools that they have. And see, although they're naked, they are protected, like divinely protected. They have the tools that they need to entrap and to make sure that justice is being served. They are so meticulous in their craft that they know how to take out what they don't want to grow. The tumor, the cancer, the illness, the disease, they know how to remove that so that they can keep prospering, keep blooming, keep growing. And they're quick with it, very quick with it. And they're light. So in their head, you see the feathers? They're not putting too much on being logical. They're not putting too much on being on the mind, too much strain on the mind. Your power has to be evenly distributed. And so for my pile number 3, you go beyond the body. You go beyond the here and now. And if you don't, then this is something that you're stepping into. And you're learning that through setting healthy boundaries and protecting yourself on all levels, and understanding yourself on all levels, and understanding how to really be seated in your vessel, your soul integrating completely your vessel so that you can see things and be aligned with spirit, with purpose, with truth, as you are meant to be. So be present and flow without rigid outcomes, because the way things are going to supposed to happen are going to happen. And you know why? Because you are the embodiment of source. Yes. So that is all for all 3 piles. Thank you for checking in with me today, guys. And I will see you on Monday for our next week tarot energy reading. I wish you guys the best, and don't forget to stay in stillness, to center yourself, to ground yourself, and to find ways to really keep your vibration high.